G'day folks, it's Dragon. Just a short video before it starts raining again. I was mucking around a week or so ago with some of my fire steels, and I got to thinking, oh, and by the way, mate, yeah, that camera followed me down the highway, so okay, alright. I got to thinking, basically a fire steel consists of two parts, the ferro rod and the striker. Fairly common, quite good piece of kit. What I've done with this one is, that's the striker that actually came with this one, and I put a couple of hacksaw blades there on two, just as an additional one. Strikers, I like to have plan A, B, C, D, or whatever the case may be. However, you may find sometimes in the bush, gear does get lost and broken. Not a nice thought, but in reality it does happen. And with these, it's essentially you've got to have these two for it to work. If you happen to lose the striker, or they become worn, they've got to have a sharp edge on them to work properly. There are other alternatives, and when I was mucking around a week or so ago, I thought about it for a while, and I thought, well, if I lost those in the bush, this would be next to useless for me. So what I did was, I had a look around, and these are the rocks I used for my bone carving exploits. I've still got some more to do on that yet. But these rocks came from our retreat. I brought home to see how they went with the bone carving. So I thought, well, why not give it a go? Got this, we've lost those, or they're broken or worn or whatever the case may be. Why not try a rock? So I had a bit of a play around with it, and it worked quite successfully, and I'll give a couple of demos. This is very hard sedimentary rock from our retreat. You can see there it's sparking quite well. This is another piece, as long as the rock's got a bit of a sharp edge on it. The same principle as the metal strikers, like that. And you find these, pretty well most of the time, any time in the bush. Another piece here. Bit of very hard sedimentary rock, but also volcanic rock, like out at our retreat we've got a lot of quartz lying around. And you can even use quartz. As long as it's got a sharp edge on it, create a spark. Normally I carry more than one fire lighting technique or one fire lighting tool with me. The other one is, this is another type of fire steel I sometimes carry with me. It comes with a flint. That's the actual flint that comes with that. And that works very well too. So there's a few options for you. I always like to think about, what else can I use if something breaks or gets lost, and it's something to keep in the back of your mind if you're in the bush. Similar with a blast match. I remember in a video we made last year, the button nose behind the camera, she did the video with me.
And I broke it.
The handle separated. The striker is in just under this lever here. So in that event, that particular blast match at the time was very hard to use. I was actually holding it together during the video shot and trying to get the striker to work. However, the strikers on these can wear. Or if the handle separates, you can pull the rod out. The rod is still quite usable, and still use these rocks bush rocks to strike a spark. Of course, pull the rod out there, it's a little bit longer, so you've got a little bit more, a bit longer to scrape. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind, folks. If you use these types of fire tools and you lose your striker or the striker breaks or whatever the case may be, have a look around the bush, have a look around on the ground, the rocks. It's got to be a hard rock, and preferably with a bit of a sharp edge on it, so you just scrape it down the rod and you've got yourself a spark. So might be something, information to keep in the back of your mind, just in case. Always looking for alternative ways, in case gear breaks or whatever the case may be.
Dragon, can you tell us what's in the tin to your right, please?
Oh yeah, I was going to do a bit of a demo on that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
That's the char. What I've got in there is 3 different types of char. See if I can get this out. That's the wood char I made. Did a video on that a week or 2 ago, I think it was. The wood char is actually made from wood in the bush. What I used was the soft sapwood under the bark. That's made from lantern wick, outdoor lantern wick. And you haven't seen this yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
It's all new to me.
It's on the forum.
But
And,
kids that keep me busy.
Yeah, I know you're being busy. And there's some thinner cotton cord, man-made stuff, charred, and it's a fire lighting technique you can use, and it does work. If you have a look at the video on the forum, we did use the blast match to use it, although for some reason tried to start it on the inside of the lid and it was slipping all over the place. Don't know why I did that, it was a bad hair day. But anyway, it worked. So yeah, there it is, folks. Yeah, there's lots of different ways of lighting fires. Something that strikes a spark, friction fire lighting, that sort of thing. But biggest problem with these types of fire lighting tools is strikers. They can wear out, they've got to have a fairly sharp edge on them. Oddly enough, I got a couple of hacksaw blades here, and they're actually much longer than that. When I did a test run on them, they actually snapped, and that's how short they are. So like that. So anyway, that is a problem with this type of fire tool. If you use lose the man-made strikers, or they become worn or damaged, and then there's using these rocks found in the bush. I picked them up off the ground out at our retreat. You can also use those on these fire steels, most commonly known as fire steels, to create a spark. So that's another alternative. Might be something to keep in the back of your mind, just in case you run into a few problems out in the bush. Thanks very much for watching.